Sunday bites and tidbits. This life they'll help you live it and get yourself together. Sunday bites and tidbits.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to what?
Sunday bites and tidbits.
It stays with you. It stays in my head. I hear it
Very
throughout.
poppy. It's very, very poppy. How's everybody doing today? This is our
Great.
hostess's recap of the wonderful guests we've had on, tidbits about the world that's going on, and give you some updates on what's coming up for us, for you.
Well, you know what this is for us. This is episode 6.
Wow.
That's good.
You guys, I'm inviting you into my bedroom. My daughter came and set this computer up for me. This was where I had to set it up. Maybe I can figure out some way that I can blur the background, but today you're in Mama's bedroom.
That's all right. I think a lot of people out there would love to be in your bedroom, Babette.
Okay, well. Ooh. Okay.
And on that note,
remember when I used to manage Babette, I had a phone number for that, but it was going to my cell phone. And I would get people calling at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., and they would say things like, and first I remember this one guy just kept ignoring him. And then he'd go, finally I answered, it was like 2 something. And I said, hello. I was trying to reach the chef. I said, do you know what time it is? Well, I was thinking about ordering a cake. I said, this time of morning, you're going to order a cake. I said, first of all, this is not chef. I said, and you'd have to be a little crazy to think that she would put a number on social media where you could reach her directly. If you want a cake, call the restaurant. But I would get all of that. They'd be up late night. They'd be up late at night watching them videos of you doing exercises and those thrusts. And they pick up the phone. Well, let me call the chef.
Oh, that's cute. I love it. Babette.
So there's a lot of men who would love to be in your bedroom.
I'm in my daughter's old bedroom because she moved out. So
okay.
And I'm in my son's apartment because my laptop is somewhere in another part of the world right now. So I have to go in and use their laptop. And I'm so thankful that I have wonderful sons who allow me to do.
Yeah, you do have great sons.
You do have wonderful sons.
And daughter. I don't want to make, we all have great. Your daughter's beautiful. Your daughter's sons, everyone.
You met Treese today.
I did. And it was funny because I was talking about them to Mitch yesterday.
Oh.
You remember when Babette told that beautiful story? And you guys were
so sweet.
I actually was sharing that with Mitchell, and then I got to meet her today. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So what's on the agenda now? There's something going on right now, Babette, you said about noodles, about ramen noodles?
Yeah, there's 5 kids died from ingesting ramen noodles in the US, and which is pretty disturbing. But we're really challenged with food products in particular, not just food products, but all of our food. We've gotten very, very, especially here in the United States, we've gotten very, very, very messy as it pertains to the care and the health of the citizens of the United States involving our food and our sources. And we've been trusted so many corporations, industries to hook us up with our food. But right now it's like, all we want to do is make the money, get it out to you nice and quick. And we ain't trying to throw none of the product away, even if it's rotten. We really repackage it and sell it to you. So, I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not either.
On that note, our guest has arrived.
Oh, he has.
So
and this is the great segue to be talking about eating and healthy choices.
Especially bringing him on.
D'Anthony is an amazing whew, the stuff that he's dealt with and has overcome. It's going to be great to hear his story and how he did it through diet. How he did it through diet.
And with the desire to be healthy and to continue on this journey. He really was not ready to go anywhere. He really was.
To be clear, specifically a vegan way of eating.
A vegan, a plant-based lifestyle.
I'm going to go ahead and invite him in.
Okay, great.
Bring it in. So I'll say, so welcome to Anthony.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you, Miss Tara? Good to see you. Good to see you, Mama. Nice to meet you, Miss Sylvia.
Nice to meet you.
Well, this is what I sent you hearts this morning when I saw that something that you had posted about just really appreciating your now. And that was pretty much where you were. Since you're going to tell your story for us, but what was brought up to me was the fact that I absolutely hate it when doctors try to tell somebody to get their affairs in order because they only have 6 weeks to live. Because I always think to myself, how dare you tell me how much longer I have to be here? I have the same amount of time as you, the moment. Period. So your orders, your stuff ought to always be in order because you ain't got but the moment. Each and every second is all you got. Don't you?
Yes,
because you are telling me I got 6 weeks. You can walk out this doctor's office and get hit by a truck and be gone after telling me I ain't got but 6 weeks left. So I loved it. I appreciated it. And we do want to hear from you.
Was that something you
Mom.
today, D'Anthony? Was that something?
So because I've just been posting a lot. It's been in the last probably like 48 hours. I just on this post extravaganza as I got an announcement. I mean, I am in a very amazing situation with somebody who kind of got it in the mud in the sense that they weren't let in either, like me and Mama, and had to work their way in however they got in. And when he got in, he just turned everybody on. They couldn't get in either. And that's why I'm excited because who I'm working with now, you can't call. Like I was in Game Changing and somebody called James Cameron, was like, take him out before Sundance. This is the first time I've said this publicly. They came and shot me in Barack Obama's church for 6 hours, went to my gym. I did 315 pounds on a Bosu ball. And they cut me via messenger. They couldn't even call me because the whole movie was about me in the beginning. And text me and messenger, D, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to carry you in the movie. So with that being said, I've just been on this since this guy approached me and was like, look, I want you to do whatever you need to do. He said the United States consumes 30% of all media. That's 70% of the world, and I'm in 144 countries. And then I just got excited. I was like, nobody can shut it down this time. And that's kind of, it was in that flurry, Tara. So yeah, it was probably 2 days ago, but Facebook and Instagram just post yourself anyway and make it look like I just posted it. But I know I didn't post that today, but it might have got some traction today. It was in the last 2 days, though. Absolutely. Okay. It's very recent.
Wonderful. Wow. And I know, Babette and I have interviewed you.
I love it. See, that's the rawness of tidbits, It's just raw.
It's the stumble of the tongue and the lips aren't moving right. And this has just been one of them days that I just go, with the moment. This is the moment. I'm here with D. I'm here with my ladies. But Sylvia doesn't know your story. Babette and I have interviewed you. I mean, I know sometimes people don't like, I got to tell that again, but I think it's so inspiring. Could you please share, you can do the condensed version of what happened, when they told you, and what you made a decision, because that's what people want to hear. Is like, because no matter whether 20 of us have heard it, the 21st person it might inspire.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And I know it's the only reason I'm here. I lived an amazing life. I did everything I wanted to do. And then God was like, all right, well, prove you want to be here. That's how I look at this situation. So I was born with neurofibromatosis, Sylvia, which is a rare neurological disorder that causes tumors to spontaneously form on your peripheral nerves. I mean, that's kind of Spider-Man's definition, the Incredible Hulk, all the Marvel characters. That means they don't know what's wrong with me other than tumors spontaneously form because of something interesting that happens in chromosome 17. That's the extent of the research. Wow. Because it only affects 200,000 people. So being born, you're kind of told, don't expect too much in life, be happy you're alive, don't expect to be active, all of that type of stuff, don't expect too much. And that's how I carried it until my mom put her foot in my butt, and she was an AIDS patient very early in my life. My mom lived with AIDS and HIV for 10 years, got diagnosed at the blood drive. She was a big wig in the PTA that kind of founded the blood drive, and found out that she was HIV positive through my school blood drive. And as my grandmother tells me, is that she was ready to go once she had, been diagnosed, but she had you. And she was determined to stay alive at least till you were 16, 15, where you were halfway a man. But for us, she didn't want, she was ready to go. But she had you. And I said, okay. And that's kind of how this story started, was my mother making me feel like my tumors were a superpower. Even though I didn't believe it, it was enough that I didn't want to hurt myself, because I was suicidal early. I was getting in fights in kindergarten, because being the tumor kid is just not fun at any age. And if you don't have a mother like mine, you kind of want to kill yourself. I mean, there's no point to get up every day to get teased and look different and feel different. And this woman instilled in me that it's something wrong with everybody else. That's why she's so amazing. And I believe that she's like, it's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. So for the first, 16 years of my life, it was me and mom, her trying to do whatever she could do with this disease that I have, that is the pre-existing condition that Barack Obama changed the law for. So these tumors that arise subcutaneously, and they're internal, the insurance lobby was able to code them as cosmetic. And they are the conduit to bone cancer. Oh yeah, they're gonna kill me. Now I'm just gonna say, because I'm about to tell everything. For 100 years, people with my condition have been discriminated against and told they couldn't get the surgery because this conduit to cancer is cosmetic. That's how when you got money and you're on the insurance company, you can wiggle out of covering people. I am the patient that he is talking about when he wrote that law. Wow. Me and my group of people. I watched so many people die, so many kids, so many people in my community who got the surgery refused that would have saved their life. And nobody talks about this because everybody's dead. I'm the last man standing from the group from the 90s. I am a Human Genome Project baby, okay? Dr. Francis Collins, the director of the National Institute of Health and the manager of the Human Genome Project, discovered the NF gene in 1990. Tara, when I'm telling that story about I lost my basketball career, mama, and in my second week of junior, in that 90 days going into junior year, It was his study. It was his study, the human genome study in 93, that my mom said you can get a surgery. But you see how that worked? She's been trying to get me surgery my entire life. And it took me having to join some study that I don't know what they did to me, what they did to us. But that's how I got the surgery she wanted. But I lost my bass. I couldn't jump or run for 2 years.
D,
And I
have
lost her the second week of January, junior year. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just got a question. I mean, obviously there's a lot of questions, right? But when they talk about that and they say, oh, it's just cosmetic, right?
Yes.
Even if it didn't affect bone cancer and the conduit to bone cancer, the mental health issue,
Right.
that
Yes.
manifests from having to live with that
Yes.
all the time, that's enough that somebody should have said, no, that's enough is enough. It's not like you're going to get, well, let me just leave that alone. But the point is, there's a mental health issue here that is at work. You talked about being suicidal very early in your life and having a mother who helped you navigate that space. But I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I would imagine that throughout your life, you've had other opportunities to feel bad.
Yes, ma'am.
To make that
yes, ma'am.
every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get to it, but I actually tried to commit suicide. I was born on my mom's birthday. Like, this is crazy. So I've celebrated with somebody my entire life, and now she's gone. And in Chicago, you can't really, you know, in the time I grew up, you had to be hard. You didn't show emotions. You were a punk. And so I don't have a dad. I don't have a mom. I'm on the street. I have an opportunity to go live with the reverend of the church or my grandmother. And I wasn't going to neither one of those places to live. And so, and I probably should have, but I had to go through everything to have the impact with the amount of people I did. But ended up on the street and figured it out in the wrong way. But how I dealt with the mental issues, no, because it's Sylvia. I didn't want to get up every day, but I had already took on this persona that I'm fine. I'm straight. I'm good. So now it'd be different if I was showing some type of grievance, but I'm D, I'm fine. And that's why I messed up, because then you got to get up every day and be fine, even when you're not fine. And that was what, in therapy, looking back and in reflection, you learn that was the build-up, the wick on the dynamite might stick. That was just, it was gonna do what it was gonna do just over time. So this is how my life was. I was born on her birthday, December 21st. Her death date is September 13th. And then we have Mother's Day. And they're spaced out just enough in the year where you get 2 months of peace and tranquility, and you fall out drugs and alcohol. Peace and tranquility. And it wasn't even drugs to enjoy drugs. It was, I'm snorting an ounce of cocaine and drinking a fifth to be numb for the 3 days I can disappear on the weekend and then show up normal through these 3 Target dates. Yeah. And that worked for like 6, 7 years. And in 2000, I woke up strapped to a gurney, legit to a gurney. I had apparently taken everything in the medicine cabinet, been found, and I woke up in the hospital on the 5th, the crazy part of the hospital, on the 5th floor, strapped to a gurney. But that's what changed my life. But the whole mental health thing you just mentioned, it's the other part of this. And I'm a big proponent of talking and communicating now. I don't care who you are. It's coming out if you do not talk about it, and it's traumatic. It might be physical, verbal. You might have a heart attack, but it's coming to see you if you do not deal with it.
Yeah. What was your transition into becoming plant-based and vegan? What was that transition? What did that look like?
That looked like I was a power lifter. And I got introduced to weights in the hospital that wouldn't let me out. And I'm glad they wouldn't let me out. They kind of took power of attorney and forced me into the program. And I just kind of start participating after 3 weeks. It's like they're not going to let me out unless I go to group.
How old
And I got introduced to the weights. And I got an addictive personality. So I'm 10,000 calories a day, 40 pounds of chicken breasts a month, whey and casein shakes whenever I can get them down my throat, all in an effort to be the biggest, strongest, baddest, soberest guy on the planet. My intention was amazing, but my information, where I was getting the information from, was the pivotal point in my mistakes, as I was feeding a tumor disease that I was already born with. I didn't understand that.
Yes.
I already have the tumors that are benign, and I'm waiting patiently for them to convert anyway. And what I did with that behavior is I helped the conversion faster. It was me. And my teacher made me see that. Like, I didn't want to hear that. But today I can say it was me. It was my fault. It was self-inflicted. It could have been prevented, but I had the wrong information. And in January 2012, I'm even go back to 2008 when I was having the pains. Because when I got to the doctor, he was like, man, this thing is healthy. It's been in there about 5, 6 years. You didn't feel nothing? I said, yeah, but I had my daughter walk on my back and it go away. And I thought it was just from lifting 600 pounds like a dumb man, And I ignored it for a good 4 years. Wow. And I equated the pain to whatever I was doing in the gym, because I was pushing 450 and pulling 600 or 700. So it made sense. My back is hurting. It's hurting on and off. Until that pain started feeling like a cat or something animal was tearing, trying to get out of my body. Like, that's what got me to the doctor, was literally, it felt like something was trying to get out of my body. And what it was the tumor breaking through the muscle tissue. It was connected to my rhomboid, my rear delt, and part of my lat. And so it was tearing the muscle, trying to get to my spine and take me out. That's what it's designed to do, latch onto the spine and become the bone cancer. Because again, the tumors start on the end of a nerve, and then it latches on and infiltrates. But you got a little window there. Like, it doesn't start in the bone, but that's where it's going. Bone, lungs, brain. Yeah, we got the real cards.
So
but in
how
2012,
old were you,
to answer your question.
D, how old were you when you went into the facility?
To get my 35.
Wow.
35 is exactly 12 years ago. And what's crazy is my mom died at 35. And in the 12-year cycle, depending on how far you are in the spirituality, they say the 12 years. And if I think about it, I sold drugs. I didn't kill nobody, but I did a lot of street stuff. Like money, just did a lot of things. I wasn't the thug that hurt people. I was the one that empowered people, just made ridiculous amounts of money. That's what I know, not being the gangster guy. Those are my friends, but I made sure everybody was taken care of. That's why I've never been to jail. I don't have any felonies. I don't even know how this happens, how you live what I live, but I do. God made me pay for that with 11 9-hour operations, Miss Sylvia. So I can't even act like I got away with anything. And 385 incisions. from my head to my toe. So I paid for it, you know, and 300,000 in copays. So I can't even act like it's not a glory story. Everything balanced out. And my penance is getting up every morning. I promise God I touch 2 to 3 people every single day in hopes that I get 2 to 3 days. So I didn't make it crazy. I'm going to save the world, feed all the children. I said, look, God, go ahead, Tara. I'm sorry.
No. You finish your statement and then I'll jump in.
Between surgery 4 and 11, I've been through 3. I was cocky and I was like, I got this. But before every surgery, they made me sign 13 waivers because my surgery, my tumor was deemed inoperable. And I kind of made them clear, like, I'm not leaving the hospital. I don't think I have anywhere to go, as that's how the pain is. And so we come to an agreement under the table that, D, we will do this. We do not want to do this, but we're going to do this for you. But you have to sign these waivers that exclude us from responsibility should anything happen. I, of course, agreed to that. The first 3 surgeries, I wasn't reading what I was signing because they give you that paper right as they're rolling you. You like in the operating room, then they hand you the clipboard. And usually it's 2 papers. Mine was a little biting. And so surgery 4, I'm flicking, and then for some reason, my eyes adjusted, and I saw the word paralysis. And the first 3 surgeries, I said paralysis. And then I kept reading. I said, uh-oh. And then I started tweaking. I said, oh, no. And got scared. Like literally, I did 3 surgeries and shook myself to my core, being rolled. They got the propofol in me, but it hasn't kicked in. And I just start crying. And they're like, D, are you? I said, I'm okay. I just got to tell God this. And I looked up in them lights. I had a marketing company called Global 360 Marketing Production and Promotions. It's still going, but I had to let it go as we promoted everything, and that's not in line with who I am today. And I told God, I said, look, I'll walk away from Global 360. I'll walk away from the nightlight. I'll walk away from the music industry. I'll walk away from all of this if you just allow me to walk and wake up tomorrow. And then I was acting like he was talking to me. I said, I'm gonna throw this in. I'm not guarantee I'm gonna be a perfect person, but I'm gonna work toward being a better version of myself every single day. And I promise to touch or save 2 to 3 people every single day in hopes that you give me 2 to 3 days every day. And that's kind of what you see. It's even if I don't feel like it, I got to get up and inspire somebody because I know everybody's watching. And that's kind of what pushes me is this pact I have with my creator that I really thought I wasn't going to walk. Like really, the paper had me shook. But that was the end of the thought, Tara.
Okay, so, and wow, I always love hearing your story. I don't care how many times I hear it because it is so inspiring, you know, when you just think of the small, minute things sometimes you allow to run amok in your day that takes over, and then you feel like, you know, this is just so hard, and and then, you know, somebody said, yeah, well, you know, someone else, and there's always someone else. There's always another situation, you know, that you would go, I don't even know if I can make it through that because what I was talking about don't even touch that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I always applaud you. I just think you're the most phenomenal person. But let me ask you this now. I remember you telling part of your story about when you changed your diet. There was a man who you met and said, I want you to cut out this. Or tell a little bit about that and how that is mental in you.
Absolutely.
Wow. That was a lot. You know what?
That's intense.
And because of that, we're going to do a part 2 with DeAnthony where we talk about what changed his life, the diet, the things that he had to do to still be here today.
Right.
I mean, you know,
for me, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not always about the outcome that we desire. For him, the outcome was likely clear skin,
Yeah.
no pain, bone cancer. But what ultimately became his outcome was his tumors are a badge of honor. And that's what hooks people in so that he can minister to them.
Right. Isn't it incredible how it works like that? It's like you find, through all of that, he finds his purpose.
I mean, it's
And what he does is it says to you, really? Really?
right.
I'm just sitting out. Tara and I, we've heard this story, but
Every time
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, so we're good. This is our part 2, guys.
Yeah, we gotta do a part
This is
2.
our part 1. This is the end of our part 1.
I know we need a breather from that because
That was a lot.
and he's so passionate about sharing it that you just don't even want to ask questions. You just kind of like this,
I know.
To really overcome something like that. I mean, people are overcoming things every day, but he overcame the option of death, so to speak, and he's still living with it on a daily basis. But I would love to hear, and can't wait for you guys to hear what he did and how important food was in the transformation of his life.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next time. We're going to do part 2 with D'Anthony, and we will see you next time on what?
But we have to say something.
Oh, that's right. So please start, Sylvia.
For me,
Yes.
nobody can do you better than you.
Can I go?
Yes.
Nobody can do you better than you.
And I believe that no one can do you better than you. I'm not exactly sure what accent that was. I was trying to do me an accent, but obviously
It started.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And make sure you guys keep tuning in because we have an exciting new announcement for next year in March or April. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.